Hi guys. So if you missed Monday's lesson, what we went over is some ideas on how to multiply. We're working on finding the product. Product means the answer to a multiplication problem. So the answer, if you need the notes from today, please ask me an email. This was one of the vocabulary, well, this was the only vocabulary word that we actually defined today. So the answer to a multiplication problem. Oh my goodness. Lost room there. Okay. So we worked this week. What we're doing is we are working on just multiplication. The skills that we're working on last week, this week, and next week are fifth grade skills. But because of the closure, there's a huge possibility that you either have forgotten because there's been a long break or that you didn't actually get taught this last year. However, these are really important skills for sixth grade to be able to efficiently go through the sixth grade program. So we're spending a week reminding ourselves how to do these problems. Can you please take a moment and solve this problem here, 381 times 5, in any method you know? So if you know some teachers call it the box method, some teachers call it the open array, some people call it the window. Solve it in any way you know. All right, so these are the most common ways to solve this problem. The answer is 1,905 in this case. So this is the new math way to solve it. What this is not really new math. It's just showing why this works. So if your family has ever said to you, when you've said, I need help, and they've said, oh, this isn't how I learned it, I can't help you. They were taught this method, which is a fifth grade standard. So you're supposed to get that last year. And then they can actually help you with the way that they know. So what I would like to show you is that the box or window method, if you've forgotten how to do that, 381 is not a 3, an 8, and a 1. It's actually 300 plus 80 plus 1. We're multiplying that by 5. So we have this box here is designated for these two numbers. 300 times 5 is 1,500. Here's the powers of 10. The powers of 10 are any number that ends in a 0. Those are numbers that are multiplied by 10 or 100 or 1,000, any of those types of numbers. So this was 300 times 5. What this is, what you can do, what the efficient way of doing this is look at the first two numbers, 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Now the question wasn't actually 3 times 5. The question was 300 times 5. So we pushed that 3 over by 2 place values. These zeros are place value pushers. And since they're here, they also belong down here. So there are 2 zeros. We have to put 2 zeros down here to push the place value. So 3 times 5 is 15, but 300 times 5 is 1,500. We can do the same thing with 80 times 5. So this box here becomes the product of these two numbers that cross over. So we've got 80 times 5. We start with just looking at the first two numbers. 8 times 5 is 40. But it wasn't 8 times 5. It was actually 80 times 5. So we have to take this 0 and push the place value over. One mistake that people commonly make is they look at the 0 and they're like, oh, I already put the 0 in. No, this 0 here belongs to the 40 from the 8 times 5. This 0 belongs to the 80 to push the place value. And then the last box belongs to 1 times 5, and that equals 5. But we're not done yet. We have to then take all of these products, these individual products, and we have to add them together. The most common place that I see as a problem is lining up the place value. We can't put this 4 over in the thousands because it's 100, so we have to match it up with the other hundreds number. So we've got 0 plus 0 plus 5 is 5, 0 and nothing is 0, 5 plus 4 is 9, and 1 by itself is 1. Okay, so that's how we've done it in the past, or how you have done it in the past, hopefully. Hopefully this part isn't new. This part is probably new to some of you. So how this works is you start with the lowest number, the lowest digit, the lowest value number on the bottom. So since 5 is in the ones place, that's our lowest digit. We actually start with 5 and we multiply it with the lowest digit on the top. So we start with 5 times 1, which equals 5, which is why that 5 got put down here. Then we're done with that one. We go to the next one. We do 5 times 8. So 5 times 8 is 40. Now 40 has 2 digits, so we have to put the digit that's on the left-hand side, we have to put that into the next place value. So we're going to take, kind of like with adding, we carry it. And we carry it, and I put a plus sign there because we're going to ultimately add that. All right. So we've got 5 times 8 is 40 for D. Okay, then we're done with that 8. We are now on 5 times 3, but because we carried that 4 over, we have to add the 4 that we carried. So it becomes 5 times 3 plus 4. 5 times 3 is 15, plus the 4 more is 19. We don't have any place to carry that 1 for the 19, so we just write it in. So those are the two most common methods that people use. There are many other methods. What happened is for thousands of years, mathematicians used different methods. And generally speaking, the mathematicians have decided that this method here is the most efficient way and causes the fewer mistakes. There are more times you have to manipulate numbers here. So this way, more mistakes were happening. This way, once you understand how to do it, it was typically giving stronger responses, where more accurate responses. So this is called the standard algorithm, and it's the method that most of your families learned, and that's the method that they're like, that's the one I learned. All right. The next problem, please work on this one. All right, so with this one, I showed a couple of other ways to solve it. So here's the box method. It's not 812, it's actually 800 plus 10 plus 2. And the 73 is not really 73, or 7 and a 3, it's actually 70 plus 3. So this time your box gets broken into 6 different sections. This box here is meant for the 70 and the 800. So it's 800 times 70. If we use our powers of 10, then we've got 8 times 7 is 56. And we've got 1, 2, 3 place value pushers. So 1, 2, 3 go in. So 8 times 7 is 56, but 800 times 70 is 56,000. All right. And we fill our boxes up. This is where it gets even trickier with place value. You have to make sure that your place value is all lined up. All right. So we've got 0 plus 6, 6. We've got 0 plus 4 plus 0 plus 3, 7. Here we've got a number that's going to go over 10. So we're going to end up having to carry. We've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got the 1 here and the 2 down here for the 12. 6, 7, 8, 9, and we've got our 5. So here's how this works. I want to show you just this way too. This is taking it piece by piece, and this is very similar to that as well. If you notice, you've got the same numbers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. We've got a 6, we've got a 30, we've got a 2,400, we've got a 6, a 30, 2,400. These are all different ways of this is just a graphic organizer for doing that method. Here's how it works with a standard algorithm. We have to start with the pink, not that yours is pink. We have to start with the lowest number in the bottom number. In this case, it's a 3 ones. And we start by doing 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1, now this one here belongs to when we did the 7. So 3 times 1 is 3. And then we've got 3 times 8, which is 24. All right, we didn't have to carry anything on that one. But here's the kicker on this one. The 7 is in the tens place. So your first answer has to be in the tens place. This is, hopefully you've seen this before. If you haven't, then, and this is new to you, this is called a placeholder, a place value holder. Oftentimes people use a 0. You can use a smiley face, a star, just so that you know that a number other than 0 does not go there. Nothing, no value goes there. So because the 7, we're working with the 7 now, the first answer, and the 7 is in the tens place, the first answer has to be in the tens place. So our first one here is 7 times 2. 7 times 2 is 14. The 4 goes down here. The 1 gets carried. Our next one is 7 times 1 plus 1. 7 times 1 plus 1. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So that goes in this one. Now we have 7 times 8. There was nothing to carry. So 7 times 8 is 56. I did this too far over. There should be a plus sign right here, but I had to put it up there. It's already lined up. So then we add it, and we end up with 59,276. So that's the lesson that you missed today.